through CRMs? How do you warm them up?
Right. A lot of times it would be like actually picking up the phone and having a conversation with them for you. Like I will talk to the people. I mean, if you want it done through email, 'cause a lot of times people will have the automatic campaigns like Eli does, but I could kind of jump in, like if somebody has a specific question, or if they sent like a text, or if they sent a like the support on your website or whatever, like that way if they had. But a lot of times, best way I could give an example would be somebody signed up for your webinar, and I could either do the call ahead of time and say, hey, I noticed you signed up for such and such webinar. Just wanted to make sure that you knew, had your link, had everything you needed. I could potentially, if somebody signs up for the discovery call, I could actually be the one that does that discovery call for you. So you're by the time, as I said, by the time they come to you, they're already qualified. So you're not actually having to take the time out of your day to see if they're qualified or not. I will do that first piece for you with the discovery call, and then pass them on if they're a fit. If they're not a fit, there's no sense of you even talking to them. So that's a lot of what I do. And just kind of being in the trenches, having those conversations and building the relationship.
So one thing about Jocelyn is that, and she and I have had a lot of conversations lately, and I've known her for a couple of years now. But one of the things that I have found has been 3 years. Has it been that long?
3 years in May.
Wow.
Coming up.
Yeah. So one of the things that we were talking about is that we have various virtual assistants and different types of people that have different roles for us, everything from web services to bookkeepers to, people that do automation stuff, like from our standpoint. But one of the things that actually is a very unique skill that a lot of all of us that do the other stuff don't do is talking to people. And most virtual assistants, that's not what they want to do. They do not want to be your office assistant type of person. Or a personal assistant, picking up the phone, checking, calling people back, booking, when you get to that point of booking appointments for a face-to-face versus doing an automated system. I'm a big fan of automated, but sometimes you need to have that personal touch. That's where she's the right person for that kind of situation. Does that help?
Yeah, what Eli said.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to pop in with? Going once.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, Natalie.
So one thing that I'm excited about that Jocelyn's going to help me with, and just another angle on her expertise, is when I go places and I speak and people drop their name in the fishbowl. But so we collect leads. One way is through like a texting app. And so those people immediately get the download and they're on my list and things like that. But then there's people who stop by my table and may drop their name in the fishbowl for a raffle or something like that. And those people, technically, from what I understand, I cannot just automatically put on an email list. And so I have a lot of those people that I've called, I've emailed, I've whatever, but they've kind of gone cold for me. And so Jocelyn's going to take some of those people and start to warm them back up. So that's just like another angle on her skill set that I am just so excited and can't wait, because some of those people that I connected with, they're amazing people, and they have, a really powerful mission that they want to pursue, and just things slip and they fall apart and you drift apart. And so anyways, that's what she's going to be doing for me, and I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Very cool. So if anybody in here has questions for Jocelyn, definitely connect with her. If you need an introduction, let me know. I'm happy to connect you with her. I do recommend, and this does go across the board, but I do recommend have a conversation with her. Find out what it is that, what kind of connections do you guys have? What can you do to maybe connect her with the right person, or vice versa? Because she is very well connected. I do know that from personal experience. She knows a lot of people. So any way she can help, I know she'd be happy to. Awesome. All right, let's move on. Mariah, you are up, my friend.
Hooray! I connected my Wi-Fi hotspot, so hopefully I won't cut out like about that. I was like just typing it, so in case that happened, I could just copy and paste.
Nice.
Yes. So my name is Mariah Reed, and I am the founder and CEO of Teal Blue Virtual Assisting. There's color psychology, and it's also really pretty and feminine without being girly. So that's kind of why I like teal blue as a color. That's where that comes from. And I help coaches, authors, speakers, and course creators, and sometimes that's all the same person, to on the back end of their business. So everything from creating content for their social media, proofreading their content for their webinars, all that kind of stuff I can help with. Right now, like I said, it's an agency, so I'm doing most of the client work right now, but I'm building the systems and procedures to help have a team take over when I go on maternity leave in September, August, hopefully that late, not have to be earlier, which will be great. And then it'll be continuing to work and making money and growing while I'm gone, so that when I come back, I'll have something to do. And I still have a business. I had a chat with an OBM on my team this week about how we're going to strategize that. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm really busy, like a busy bee behind the scenes right now, building all of that. But yeah, that's how I serve, like whatever kind of to get your message out there and make you look really good as well, like Jocelyn said, and you know, make sure all your words are spelled right and the right syntax and all that kind of stuff, and your website looks good. And yeah, that's what I'm here for. I think, you know, it's nice to know things, but it's also nice to put feet to the ground, I guess you can say, and hands and feet to the message that you have to share. So
awesome. And for anybody that's seriously, if you're at a point where you're starting to get behind on stuff and need to find some help, talk to Mariah. She's a wealth of information and super, super smart, and can help you in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, I love connecting people and resources. It's one of my favorite, like that's where I get personal fulfillment from. But at the same time, what I'm going to be coaching people on initially, because I have, you know, everybody else has 10 million different ideas a day because we're entrepreneurs and that's just who we are, idea factories. But in my initial like freebies and coaching is actually, how do you build a team? How do you delegate? How do you become a good manager so that you're getting the results without being really a hard ass, if you want to, you know, like you don't have to be the devil wears Prada in order to get results. You know, you can still be kind and generous and a nice person, while still getting results in your business. And so teaching people how to do that will be kind of my area of expertise, and then building a strong team to be able to support those people who learn those skills, and get their message out there more.
Awesome. Very cool. Does anybody have any questions, thoughts, ideas, anything like that for Mariah?
Mariah, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow to follow up on our conversation. From
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That'll be good.
And I saw Chris
I got
pop.
the chance to meet with Mariah this week too, and this girl is a powerhouse. She absolutely blew me away. So
Thank you.
yeah. I just had to say
Like
that.
20 minutes.
Powerhouse.
We're like, we gotta go. We got another call, but it'll be fun. I was like, hey.
And say, see, Chris is on too. Yay, we got to join with him.
Yes, we got Chris is on, and I saw Chris in the comments saying that he owes several people callbacks. And you and I need to get on the call soon too. So don't let me
That's
forget.
okay, Chris. Chris, we talked about because we were trying to meet up, and he's doing self-care, and he's making sure that when he brings something to the table, he's got something to bring, and I support that completely. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions because she and I have already had the opportunity to talk, but I agree with Natalie. You're amazing, and people definitely need to connect. And again, I mean, you're quick, and I love it because you're always in the chat. Like, you're so witty. Like, you know, you just got a quick comment and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, if people haven't connected with you yet, they definitely need to, because you have a lot to bring to the table to help people, and it's awesome.
I really am here to help. I don't like workaholics. I don't think you should kill yourself to build a business. You should, you know what I mean? Like, get a team. You don't have to do it all. I don't have to do it all. That's what successful companies do.
Yeah.
So I don't really need help this week with anything. I'm just here to support you. I have a call at 10 minutes, so I might hop off and hop back on.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Very
Thank
cool. Did
you.
anybody else have any thoughts, questions, ideas with Mariah before we move on? Going once.
You owe me $1 million.
I owe you $1 million.
Okay, I thought I'd try it just to see if you bid, but I guess not. You're a little too wise for me.
Okay. When you give me value for $1 million, I'll give you.
Well, then, okay, guys, see, I got to get to work.
Okay, bye.
There you go.
Adam's one that needs to respond to his messages because I did try to connect with you to schedule a call and you haven't responded to your messages yet.
I'll have to check. I don't remember. I'll have to check.
He's the only one on my list that he's the only one on my list that I didn't get to connect with this past week. So you're
All right. I'll look into it and make sure. Maybe I legitimately missed something. I don't know. I'm a man, flesh and blood like everybody else.
You got to set
And
up
you've
your
been
automatic
busy with your
systems,
cats.
Adam.
I know your cats keep you on your toes.
I've actually been so focused. I haven't been letting them supervise me lately. They get to hang out with me at night, but they got to keep their supervision to themselves. All I want is cuddles, purrs, and for Alessandra to not fight me over crackers. I get 2 out of 3.
That's funny. Okay, next up, I think we had Tracy was the next one that had popped in. Hello, my dear.
Hello, I was happy to actually be on time today.
Yes, yay.
Yes, Wednesdays tends to be my completely booked style of day. Yeah, having fabulous week. I did my first big Zoom event over the past weekend that I spoke about last week. I ended up having 245 people register for the event.
Nice.
Yes. And at least at one time I had 150 people showing up. And
Awesome.
yeah, I did. And at the least amount, it was down in like maybe, I want to say like 50s to 70s. I was trying, there was a lot going on in that.
Very cool. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome. We'll repeat it. Gonna fine tune it a bit, polish up the wheel a little bit more, give them some more incentives, and actually do like a VIP optional experience before or after the show to make a little bit more coin, basically, instead of just hosting a free event, give them something on top of it. But what birthed out of that is trying to put together one of the most challenging parts of my business. Growing my business has always been digital marketing. And when I say that, it's not because I don't have a great content writer or I don't know how to produce great content material. I don't want to figure out how YouTube and IG talk. I don't give a shit. Just don't.
So you and Mariah need to talk.
Huh?
You and Mariah need to talk.
I don't care how it happens.
Yep.
Make it happen. I don't know how big a pixel needs to be on Facebook versus LinkedIn. I don't get paid. I get paid to talk to dead people. I don't get paid to do that. And I like, and it's probably, more like just kind of, I can put a strategy together or help formulate it. I just don't want to be working the machine.
Right.
Does that make sense? And I don't want to have to micromanage somebody to do it.
Yeah. Cool.
If that's my first world problem. And then if anybody can help me with this, but I doubt that they can, my father, who passed away in September of 2018, explained me this, how he gets a stimulus check and I don't.
Okay. I don't even know how to answer that one. The first step, question.
I had a couple of people waving.
Yeah. We're not even gonna go there.
I just laughed
just-
about it, to be honest with you. It was
It's
so
because
funny.
it's based on 2018 taxes is why.
Yeah.
So their 2018 records is what they're going on. So you need to put in the bank or send it back, but they'll ask for it when they audit you or they do the 2020 stuff. for 29. So just so you know,
Yes.
because my father-in-law passed away and he got a check as well. So we're in the same situation because
You-
they're
you owe
going
me
on the taxes.
You owe me $1,200.
No, I don't. Prove it.
I like
Okay.
Kristen's
So
comment.
have you,
Kristen's comment is
you,
awesome.
you and Mariah definitely should chat because she could probably help you with some of that stuff. Quick question. Are you still working with Kathy?
Yeah. She
Okay.
mostly, I mostly have her focusing just on infusion because that's,
Okay.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
enough for one person.
Yeah. So, and make sure if you bring up, and this will actually come up to our next person. If you bring up with her that you are in the same program as Jeff, it will make, she should have more clarity even because she is going through that stuff with him as well. Okay. So definitely, does anybody else have any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, questions for Tracy before we go on?
I do, Tracy.
Mariah?
I know we're gonna chat, but do you have your funnel set out of how you want all those things to work together, or is that overwhelming you as well?
You have a really cool program that has all that stuff ready for you.
I think Eli has something for you.
I do.
And if
Okay.
not, when we chat, we can talk about other business models that'll go with it. So
Yeah.
one way or
Yeah,
another, I think
because I'm
we're-
working.
We'll schedule a call, Mariah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, the answer is definitely yes, I do have what you are asking for.
I'm just
Awesome.
wondering because that's where my brain is with my business right now, is figuring out where to focus so that
Mhm.
I can make the ROI as high as possible, and then once I get really good at those few things, then I can expand from there. But I don't want to split my attention too many places and have to spin too many plates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't know where your struggle quite was. Sounds like Eli knows some things.
Mhm.
I see
Just a
twinkle
couple.
in his eye.
Yes. Okay. So let's do me a favor real quick. We have a ton of people on here. If you guys would do me a favor and number one, if you don't have your camera on, please turn on your camera. I would love to take a screenshot real quick because we have a ton of people here. It would be really super awesome. Let's see here. And then that means you too, Cindy.
I'm coming.
All right. All right.
Today is not a public viewing day, so.
All right. You guys ready? Big smile.
And I knew better, so.
Awesome. Okay. We're good
If
now.
you had got me like an hour ago, ask Natalie, my hair looked awesome. Now, not so much.
Well, it's the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Well, you know, I was on the show this morning with Angel and on her show, and my hair looked much better at 7 a.m. too. So it's okay. Okay. So definitely anybody who hasn't had a chance, definitely connect with Tracy as well. If you got any questions for her, she's got some pretty cool, smart stuff behind the scenes. If nothing else, have a conversation with her because you'll learn some really cool stuff. Let's go ahead and move on. Jeff, you are next, my friend. I'm so glad that you could make it tonight.
Well, thank you so much. What a great group. Oh my goodness. I'm sitting here and they're just wow people. So it's
We have some
exciting.
pretty cool people here. Said the name.
Wow. Yeah.
So introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and what can we help you with?
Okay. I'm Jeffrey Levine. I am a former tax attorney and certified financial planner in Albany, New York, and I sold my business in one day. So what I do is help other people sell their businesses within 5 to 10 years of retirement. It is a process, as I found out, because I did it 10 years before and helped other clients do it. Also, in the financial field. So I work with business people in the financial field as well as helping them grow their business. I also help them sell their business. And I do that in a tax efficient way because of my background, because that might be the most expensive tax item they ever face. And I need help in letting people know what I do, because I do speaking I'm going to be doing some TV, but it looks like I'm not really sure technically in this environment how to get the word out.
Okay. So you have a ton of amazing resources right here. I know I've already shared some of them with you.
Yes.
I know you've already met Natalie.
Yes.
And you know Angel, don't you?
I sure do. She's great.
Okay. So have you been on her show yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So you need to do that.
Okay.
Talk to her about that. And then also, Adam, shake your hand high, wave. I want you to meet Adam. Adam
Okay.
is your podcasting guru. He is going to teach you both sides of one, how to get on podcasts, how to be a great guest, and the other side, also to have your own podcast.
Okay.
Because having your own podcast is a great way to establish yourself as an expert, and it gets you with a whole bunch of other people, because having guests on your show brings in additional traffic as well.
Okay, that is great.
Also, Chris, I think you might want to have a conversation with him. Chris, raise your hand so Jeff can see you. So Chris does radio shows. He has I don't even know what all Chris does. He does way too much crazy stuff, and I can't even keep up with it all. But he's a super smart dude with a lot of connections. So Chris, do you want to pop in for just a second?
Yeah, Eli's right. I got more fingers and more pies than Marie Callender. So
it's very accurate.
Among other things, I also happen to have some tools and some strategies that I've accumulated over the years, specifically to help selling businesses.
Oh,
so
wow.
In order to be able to identify the people who are looking or might be looking, that kind of stuff. Not only that, Eli and I both know a guy by the name of Jeff Fagan.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff has a company that buys online businesses, renovates them, kind of like fix and flip, and then flips them.
Yep.
So we have some connections that beyond him as well that are in that mode. So there's more than one way we can help skin that cat for you.
Well, thank you. I did
off the
come
top of
out.
my head.
Well, thank you. I didn't state that I just came out with a workbook to help people to do it themselves. It's 160 pages, but it's what I used in my business and what I use for everybody else. So that's a start.
Nice.
And I have several book sales models that might work quite well for that, especially when doors open up and hotels and whatnot are back in play, because I have networks with them as well. So,
beautiful.
Yeah, lots to chat about, I'm sure.
Thank you. I would enjoy it.
So definitely we'll get you connected. And then Christine, would the Jeff and you be a good connection?
I know Jeff, and we just
know
haven't
each
had
other.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
we just haven't had a chance to connect, but we should definitely connect.
We will.
Okay.
We will.
Yeah,
It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's awesome to see you. So let's set something up on the calendar. So
I will do that.
Awesome. So send him your calendar like right now, so we don't all forget, because that's the worst thing that ends up happening. All right. Does anybody else have any thoughts, ideas, connections, questions, anything like that for Jeff? Going once, going twice. Mariah is asking who is your target market? Is there anybody specific that you're looking for?
Yeah, small to medium-sized businesses within 5 to 10 years of retirement that all of a sudden they're realizing it's a lot of hard work, especially right now, and they might be getting sick of it. Maybe a health issue and just need help. They have to find somebody else to take over, that maybe they become the chairman of the board rather than running the company. So it's usually a pain thing. I know with me, I just got tired and I couldn't do it anymore. I was working 7 days a week for almost 30 years. And it came to a point where when the person tapped me on the shoulder at the gym, you hit me at the exact right time.
Cool. Awesome. So Mariah, you had another question. Do you want to just ask that?
Sure. So I'm in the virtual assisting world, and there's virtual assistants who do the tasks, but then above that is like an online business manager, who can help delegate all the tasks, right? So they're the manager, I guess. That's how it would look in a corporation. And then you have the CEO above the manager. So you said basically you help people find a new CEO to take care of it, and then the owner can be like on the board of directors. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
that you
in some
do?
company, there's a couple. Yeah, there's a few choices. One is they have this business and it's time for something else.
Mhm.
That's one thing. Number two, in a bigger corporation, they were president, they're running it every day, and they say, let a younger person do that. And number three, all of a sudden they're not feeling well. They went to the doctor and the doctor says, slow down. You can't keep this pace. And they need to sell it.
So they're handing it off to the next generation or whatever.
Well,
because their
or
personal
somebody
life.
else buying it.
Right. And
know,
so Chris is helping people with well, you said that Jeff Fagan helps people flip them when they're struggling. Is your company helping people who are struggling, or it's just that season of their life? Or both?
Well, a lot of them are struggling now. What I would say is, yes, when I get a business, I know where I want to take them, and I usually need help because I'm one person. So I
Sure.
like the concept of a team to come in. I just don't know that team right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
that's what you need
he's
help
looking
with.
for he needs help with finding a team to help with him. So as an
Yes.
example, we are working with him on some stuff, helping him with putting automation into place. He's going through our Follow Up Rockstar system, and then I connected him with Kathy originally, who is a virtual assistant, and that's how we got started with that aspect of it. And so, but Kathy even has very specific sets. So definitely you and Jeff should have a conversation.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand so that I can
Yeah.
promote to people who are out there that I might come across that like, I don't want my business anymore because of blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, don't just let it die.
Here's a great
or
example
whatever.
of that is that our previous company was a web and graphic design agency. And I got to the point where I was growing it, and that part was great. To the point where I had 5 employees, had an office. We're closing 3 to 5 contracts a week and crushing it. But then I realized I hated going to an office, and I hated my employees even more. And that was not a good plan for me. And so I didn't know what to do. I didn't really have other options out there. And like, Jeff, I wish I had known you back then, because I literally let my business burn to the ground.
Right.
Well, we put it on the market, but the person we put it on the market with didn't do squat. He threw it up on some sites, and that was pretty much the extent of it.
And we did have an issue at the time. I mean, even back then, web agencies were kind of a weird newer thing. And so he didn't even really know how to do it, because it wasn't quite a brick and mortar, but it wasn't quite a virtual. They didn't really know what to describe it as.
Yeah, he couldn't explain it.
Well, like Google, we have a lot of people physically, but it's all online. That's how
exactly. Yeah.
We're like Google. That's how the best way to say.
But Google didn't exist back then.
Well, no, it might have, but it wasn't Google. It was a baby.
Fancy.
Yeah.
It was a baby.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was 12 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
I know Google came out when I was in high school. Sorry to date people, but because I remember when we switched from Yahoo to Google.
You're gonna make the rest of us all look old.
Who I am.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah.
I miss Gopher.
Google was around, but it wasn't Google. It wasn't a verb yet.
Right.
Okay. So
I'm just trying to understand so that when I'm networking, because I network all over the place, and I want to be able to give resources, then I can kind of know who you would work best with or to serve best. Do you have anything online that I can send people to, like a website or LinkedIn?
Yes,
or
I do. Yes, I do. I have a website. Yeah.
Go ahead and share that website.
Okay. Thanks, Christine.
Jeffrey Levine, LEVINE.solutions. And everything should be there. still some more to add, but that has good content to give you an idea.
Good. Yeah, I'm creating a directory for the Cool People group too, so that way that you can be on there and help people who
Thank you.
come across that. Absolutely. Yeah. And if you have any more details, just, in personal message me. Eli can connect us, and then I can make sure to add that to that.
All right. Thank
Definitely.
you.
Very
Well,
cool. Awesome.
I was just gonna real quick before you move on. I also know somebody that used to do and build and sold businesses. I don't know if she's still doing or not, but I could reach out to her first to see if she is. And that might be another person that you could, connect with as far as that goes. And if you actually just need help with research and finding businesses that are wanting to do that, that is something that I could potentially help you with.
Yeah, I think that would be great. What did I couldn't quite hear what you said first when you started?
The first one was, I said, I know someone who that's exactly what she did, was she would find businesses and flip them. So I don't know if she's still doing that or if she's gone in a different direction, but I will reach out to her to see if that's still something of interest. And if so, I can connect the two of you was the first thing.
That would be great. I need a team around me. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one was helping to research to find actual businesses that would be wanting to do that I could help with.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Helpful stuff?
Yes, fabulous.
Very cool. Awesome. Okay, we are going to move on to Miss Kristen, and she's having a private conversation of some sort with somebody, and I can see her over there giggling. So,
hi.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Apparently, when Chris, you said flip, I adjusted my glasses with my middle finger. And Tracy was letting me know. And I just now saw the message. But I was actually laughing at the whole Google wasn't a verb yet. It was just goo back then.
Oh, yes.
That's what I was first laughing at.
Yes, I've seen multiple comments about that. That's great.
We're feeling extra snark tonight.
That just shows that some of us are getting old.
No comment.
Yeah.
So for the third time last week.
We do have a few people who don't know you yet. So
yes,
share who are you, what you do, and what can we help you with?
So I'm the odd duck in the club. I could have used your help in selling my business last year, but I sold my online business last year. Sold it. I pretty much gave it away. And I just wanted out. And I now run our retail store for nerds full time, which of course is closed right now. So I have been working extra hard on the website to get it up and running, launching a handful of brands.
Can't possibly be closed. We got toys in last week.
You can get toys in the mail, but that's about it.
Well, then it's not closed. You got toys. Eli's been playing with it all week.
The storefront is closed. But you can still order toys. It's a it's a mail service store right now, Moira.
Well, and Morgan got something. I don't know what she ordered. I haven't heard yet. But
so I ordered last week, and I'll show what I ordered in just a second. But I get this package. So there's the front and there's the back.
I write that on all the packages because I think people are awesome to order.
It's awesome.
Oh, see, Eli thought he was special. You should have kept that to yourself.
Yeah, well.
Well, that's okay.
And all then the packages that I actually mail myself, our POD stuff is sent from the manufacturer, so I don't get to put my hands on that.
And that's understandable. But then after I actually even open it up, the box of what I got has this little sticky note on it that says "You rock."
That was just for you.
That was, and I appreciate that.
That was special.
And so I ordered some of this super cool. Think Putty is what it's actually called. Yes, it's Think Putty. And if for some of you that have been around for a while, you remember Silly Putty.
This is that on steroids.
This is so much cooler because it is this stuff. And of course, I had to have the purple one. Okay. But it's like, it's great to just, work in your hand, stress reliever. But this one smells like berries. And I'm sitting there and I'm just,
some of them smell.
Yeah, I'm just doing my thing and just, as I'm talking to somebody on a call, I think yesterday, I was in there having my call and I go through and then I put it back in the tin that it comes in, which is pretty cool because the tin is like perfect for it because then it's easy to get back out, but it doesn't like stick to anything. And I realized that for like 3 hours later, my hands smell like berries, which
Mine
is
smelled
very,
like chocolate the other day.
yeah, yeah. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, but he's talking about it was because of the putty, Kristen.
Well, true. There is that problem. There is that. Yeah, everyone
Yes, Kat hasn't shown up yet. But she has the coolest toys. So like I got that. I got to reach over here and get my chief decision advisor. This is Thor. He is a Magic 8 Ball. So I ask questions and he helps answer them.
He tries.
He tries. He does really good with me. I get some
That's
awesome
cool.
answers out of him.
He's not great with
But-
me. It's always
They
I'm
have a
just
good
unsure.
rapport. They have good rapport going on.
Yeah, we have good rapport. We have regular office meetings. But
It's
yeah,
the only kind he prefers.
yeah. Well, and on top of it is, it's like I have a rule of thumb, and the reason I have a whole thing about a Magic 8 Ball. If you can't make a decision in 10 seconds or less, you need a Magic 8 Ball, because that Magic 8 Ball will help you make that decision. Action takers, true entrepreneurs don't dilly-dally around. They make a decision fast. And so I made it a rule years ago. I actually have a full Magic 8 Ball. It's sitting over there now because it's now been replaced by Thor. But it is, if I have something that I'm struggling with and I cannot come with a solution fast, I will literally ask the question and shake him and let the answer show up. And what happens is what happens. And I make a decision, and one way or another, I have a decision. I take action based on the decision. If it was the wrong answer, I learned, and I don't learn to adjust and make the right answer. If it was right, then I just keep going back and asking more questions. I don't have to think so hard. So it works really well. So if you like cool toys and geeky stuff, then you should connect with Kristen, because she has some awesome stuff. If you are a nerd, then you will love all the stuff that they have.
And if you like stuff that's rated R, we have a whole section for that now.
Yes.
I've been working on retagging everything so that it shows up right.
Yes. So with that.
And if you have ideas of something you want me to create, I can. You can ask Tracy.
Yes. So
One of my favorite shirts.
Yes. She made an awesome shirt.
Show them, Kristen.
Sure.
You have it right.
I'll let you shameless plug.
So while Tracy is getting her shirt, do you have it right there? She has it right there.
Literally, because I got one for my best friend and soul sister, because she's also as well. And it's a cute little tank top.
And Mariah commented about the Corona kits. There's some awesome cool stuff in there. So what do you need help with?
So actually I thought a lot about this, and thank you, Mariah, for sharing that. I haven't sold a single Corona kit. I'm probably going to rebrand them as something more nerdy, because they're a little scary sounding. They're Corona Apocalypse survival kits. So yeah. Anyway, I am averse to having a podcast, and there's a whole story behind that. So I am not going, sorry, Adam, I am not ever going to have a podcast. I'm happy to be a guest on podcasts, but I will never, I've done 2 and they were awful. I hated them. Not because of the tech or anything. I hate everything about running a podcast. Anyway, however, I was interviewed yesterday morning for a local radio show, which was very podcast-like, like 15, 20 minutes. And I discovered that, last couple of times I was here, I was struggling with my direction with speaking, because the formal stage just is not beckoning me like it used to. And I decided, as of yesterday morning, I just got some major clarity that I need to be a small business advocate. And my brick and mortar business is just another proof of concept of how I can make something work. Because I don't know very many people that have online IM, years and years and years of that experience, plus brick and mortar, plus art and being a full-time artist, having all those kinds of different things that I've done in my past. Now I can join them all together and be able to speak out for the people who they're too shy to show their voice, or they don't want to be front and center. And I love to be front and center, if you haven't been able to tell. I'm an extreme introvert or extrovert.
I was going to laugh.
Yeah, I am not an introvert at all. Extreme extrovert. However, advocate is a little bit too calm of a term to describe me.
Right.
So I had another term in mind, but I think it's a little bit too rough around the edges, which was loudmouth. Small business loudmouth. So I would love some brainstorm either now or later if people want to just kind of mull it over. If something strikes you and you're like, oh, this is a good term you could use, that's
Okay.
really where I'm kind of stuck right now. Basically like a
Okay.
tag for me.
What about small business champion?
Ooh. Oh,
There you go.
that's it. Thank you.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Next.
Okay. Have you met Angel before?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
You haven't met Angel?
Yes.
I thought
so
everybody knew Angel.
we run in different circles. So Angel,
Hi, Angel.
you two
Hi,
need
Angel.
to talk, and Angel, you need to give her a little bit on your media tip stuff, because Angel is the PR queen. That's what she does. She is awesome at it. She helps people get media, understand how it works.
Awesome.
She's a total rock star in that.
She would be a great resource to get you some stuff with Nirvana Outpost and all of that. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
I mean, I've got media experience from clear back to when I was like 8 years old on formal television shows all the way through to present day, but things have changed a lot in the last several years.
Yeah. So she has an awesome program teaching that stuff, how to get better media. And right now your topic is phenomenal for what's going on, because you are here as an advocate or as a champion for the small businesses that are suffering because of all this crap that's going on right now. So, and I've seen your video
on social media and
so you two need to definitely connect. You need to get out there. She will help you with that, because I have been keep putting this on hold and I don't get it out there. Let's schedule time on Monday to do an interview for my podcast that I keep pushing off and I've got like 2 episodes, but I haven't done anything else with it, which is the Meet Cool People podcast.
Okay.
And we haven't done that yet, but I want to go ahead and have you on there. So let's do that on Monday, because Monday is Meet Cool People Monday.
All day until 6 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. Awesome. Cindy, can you do me a favor and just put my Zoom link in there so she can just grab a time?
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So what else does anybody else?
I don't want to do coaching anymore.
Yeah. Understand. Totally understandable.
To coaching and consulting.
I was going to say too, that you're friends with Felicia already. You might want to reach out to her as well, just for her to help you with the.
She's my sister.
Yeah.
Like, practically blood.
Yeah, those two are
peas in a pod.
No, I understand. I know that's what I'm saying. Like, I know you're already, but again, touch base with her as far as what you're, because she would absolutely be.
Yeah. We brainstorm regularly about like every couple of weeks. We get together and
very cool.
Up and brainstorm.
Very cool. Does anybody else have any comments, ideas, thoughts, anything? And I do want to make sure that we have time. I know Angel does have to leave soon, so if we can make sure we have time for her to chat real quick too.
So Kristen, just curious, because you're changing gears, do you know kind of what direction that's going to go, like the services and the problems that you're going to be solving with that?
I really actually don't see, I mean, I already have an arsenal of online courses I could drive stuff to for monetization. But I honestly see this as my giving back. I don't see being a small bit. We've been talking about, actually, it's funny you say champion, guys, because last year we were talking about how downtown needs a champion and like our downtown. And we have one now. His name is Sam. He's amazing. But I felt like I needed to do something bigger, something that, because I have a reach that our town just has no idea who I am or what I'm capable of. They're starting to see a tiny bit of that. And now that I'm letting my snark out, it's like game on and finally really coming into what my message is going to be. If I end up getting invited to speak on stage somewhere for a paid gig, that's fine. But that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for.
I'm just wondering like what problem you're solving for being an advocate or a champion for someone. So to me, like I think of like special ed advocates or special ed champions, right? They help bring awareness to those communities and those types of people. I'm just kind of wondering like what direction you're taking this and like
the struggles.
The
struggles that especially brick and mortar, but small businesses, solopreneurs in general have, like from legal stuff of trying to decide, like I helped somebody out this week on how to figure out trademark process, to the crap that business people do not really want to face or think about, but they need. That's my specialty. And so if I can help them realize they're not alone, You know, they can cry and scream and yell inside their cars and throw a hissy fit every once in a while and then get over themselves and get on with it, because that's what we do.
Say, Kristen can show you. Do you have video of that, Kristen? Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
We're going to have a part of that video of me curled up on the couch, covered up to here in blankets, and Tony asking me what I was doing and me saying, I'm brainwashing myself with positive stuff. I need it right now.
Cool.
But yeah, so my message is more like the underdog, the struggles that most people look at a small business and think, oh, you're rolling in it because you have your own business. And that is not the case with any of them.
So to understand correctly, you want to go out and your message is advocating for what it's really like, and also there's help for small businesses so that you can educate the public on that aspect. Is that what I'm understanding? Okay, cool.
So people really understand
really
what
great.
being a business owner really means, because a lot of times people don't really get it.
God,
like for example, 3 weeks into being closed, we were approached through we had a small business page for our downtown we used to run, and I still get the messages there. And we were approached by somebody asking for donations for their Girl Scout troop. And I wrote back and I said, hell no. If anything, you should be donating to small businesses right now, not asking them for money. Like they're the ones, but they have this idea that these businesses, because they're in business, have tons of money saved up they can give away. When they don't realize that it's all tied up in inventory and payroll and all those things.
Cool.
You mean like the family member that posted over and over on Facebook about how horrible capitalism is? Capitalism's awful. And then like a month
not
later,
even go there.
And then like a month later, he messaged us asking for a loan because he was struggling.
Right.
And we're like, but that's capitalist money.
One of the things that I was working on this afternoon is updating my blog, because I'm really bad about keeping up to date. I've been writing on Facebook instead. So I've been copying and pasting and backdating. So I'm going to put the link in there because the one on my website isn't working right. I have to fix it.
Okay.
And not directly to Tracy.
So let's do a favor real quick, because I know that Angel has another appointment that she has to run to. So if anybody else has any questions, we're going to give you a second I'm going to just put you on hold for a second, Kristen. So Angel can at least pop in, say hi, share a little bit and all that, and let us know how we can help her. And then we will come back to you. Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
I
know she's got literally like 3 minutes. So, hello, my dear. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Eli. And I don't mean to just pop in and pop out. I just want to say, hey, it's so great to see this group growing. I've known Eli since he was yay high, right? I feel like. Eli used to be a guest. I hosted a radio show from Denver, Colorado for 10 years, and Eli was a regular guest using what I call OPP, other people's platforms, to get exposure. And for any of you who, like, even when I just typed in small business advocate in the media, is that a great topic? Is it being featured in the media? How much opportunity is there? And any one of you can do this when it comes to, we call it newsjacking, like take our voice and infuse it into a conversation that the media is already talking about. We did this with Christine with negotiation, like don't file bankruptcy, renegotiate. Jeff, we've done some different things with his story about Beyond the Secret. There's so much opportunity for media. It's just, and especially now, they are looking for fresh new content. They're looking for an interest story. They're looking for anything that has to do with how are you guys handling and getting through the pandemic? How is it impacting you? So all of you, every one of you has an opportunity. Take your topic and type it into Google, and then do a sub search where it says news. I don't know if it'll show that. Like there's like a sub search that says news. And it'll show you all the media outlets right now that are covering your topic. So you don't want to have your podcast, blog, or product over it. You want to know the media outlets that are talking about it, and you can reach out directly to them with your media pitch, your one sheet, your media story, which we do help you create your media stories, your media pitches, help you connect with the right media outlets, the right media opportunities to create exposure and to monetize. And we've been doing it. We've been doing it for 12 years, and we're just having a ton of fun doing it.
Awesome. What
Angel is great.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yes, she is. Agreed. Yes.
Yes. And yeah, I've known Angel for a very long time, and it's kind of funny. Cindy just literally just sent me a message because you guys all know that I basically cyber stalk everybody, right? I have systems and processes that follow up how long I've known pretty much everybody that I have met in my lifetime. And I don't think you even realize this, Angel, but you have been in my system since this month, April 7th of 2011.
Oh.
2011.
You had an anniversary.
Yes.
It is our anniversary. Wow.
Yeah.
Time.
Yes. So yeah, I've known Angel for a long time. She does some pretty awesome stuff. I really appreciate it. And I don't know if you remember, but Adam has actually been a guest on your show too.
I do remember Adam. Of course I remember Adam. Absolutely.
It's
Yes.
hard to forget.
It's hard to forget. This is true. Cool. So before you have to run, what can we help you with?
You know what? I just want to give back to you guys tonight. I just want to give back to Eli and to serve. If any of you need any resources for media, for exposure, if you want to get published, need help with, news jacking, just reach out to me on behalf of Eli. I'm just such a big fan of what you're doing over there. You and Cindy, we were supposed to be in Mexico on our
Today. Look.
That's right. Yeah. So we were there and we had to cancel it. But we will thrive and come out of this even better on the other side. I just know it. But if there's anything I can do for you, lots of folks here know how to get in touch with me and how to connect with me. We've just got a lot going on, and I do have to run. But it was just fabulous to see you guys. So
thanks so much for popping by.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if anybody wants to connect with Angel, just reach out to me. I'll do the introduction for you. I'm happy to. Awesome. Go have fun at your next meeting, because I know you have another one. Thank you so much, my dear.
The teeny tiny story behind these cups that Eli and I are always showing you guys every week. Last year, we went to Cancun, Mexico for our first time. We'd never been to an event that Angel holds there. I swear it was a business event. We did business and everything. And she provided us with these cups. It was an all-inclusive resort. We spent the whole time we were there with these full of things like mojitos, because if you went to a restaurant to have dinner and they went, can we, the staff, and they would literally look like you just kicked their puppy if you said no thank you, or I just want water.
Yeah. So these cups, yes, the entire 4 days that we were there, this cup did not have a time that it did not have a mojito in it.
And we would nurse like one or two all day. It wasn't like we were down in them like water.
For yourself.
But they seriously, the staff was so great there where we went, where she had the event, and they looked sad, like actually sad if they couldn't get you something.
Yeah. So and
we were
the plug is not to say that we drink a lot. The plug is to say Angel is awesome. And if you do get a chance to go to any of her events right now, obviously she's doing virtual events like all of the rest of us. She has a media mastery event that is awesome. I highly recommend you check it out. She will reschedule the Mexico trip, the Cancun trip.
Boot camp. It was awesome.
It's a boot camp where you're actually going through the media mastery program, but you do it in the luxury of an all-inclusive resort in Cancun.
And it's just all included.
Awesome.
You go and you spend the day in the room and you learn and you do things and you get a plan, and then you go to the pool and the beach and the all-inclusive food, and
so
it was awesome. And I literally put it on our calendar. We were sitting in the room and she said, okay, next year the dates are here, and I pulled out my phone and put it on our calendar, like it was supposed to be this week.
Yeah. So our trip got canceled. We told her to keep the money because as soon as she reschedules it, we're going. So that's my little plug. Tracy, did you have something you want to add real quick?
Yes, I do. Because when you go to one of her events, you have a room full of people that are going to help you out. Yeah. So you're not stuck there trying to figure out what to say. You have a whole room of people that are really going to encourage you to kind of stretch your mind, or how about this? Like, you're not alone there, and you're also in a super wonderful location just having fun.
Yeah. Work hard, play hard.
Yes, definitely.
That's
Cool.
why we
So-
work hard, so we can play hard.
I see, Mariah, you said you need this event. If anybody wants to message me, I will connect you with Angel. And I do know she has one of her events coming up pretty soon. Obviously, again, it's still virtual at this moment, but she's doing them for completely crazy, stupid, cheap. And I refuse to have the conversation with her because I know I would argue with how little she's charging for it. So if you want to have that conversation,
Worth
just message me and I will help you get connected to her for that. Okay. Okay. So because we put Kristen on hold, I want to come back. Does anybody, Kristen's working on basically being a champion for small business, especially for brick and mortar mom and pop type businesses. How do we survive all this kind of stuff? Does anybody else have any thoughts, ideas, connections, questions, any of that kind of stuff for Kristen?
I do. I'm just, it's more playing than anything. But Kristen, are you the one that likes to use the word snark all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Kristen.
Whatever
She's got your number.
media you decide to use for it, I think you need to create snark stories.
Snark stories. I like
Snark
it.
Stories, like small business snark stories with Kristen.
Nice.
Boom. I love it.
Writing it down.
Nice.
The reason I popped my blog in there was because with all the updates I just did, SNARK, the Snarkomatic, you guys, you'll get a taste for the direction I'm heading with speaking out for the underdog. Like one of the posts was me ranting about artists being put down for selling masks when they already donated 200 or 300 out of their own pockets, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I love it. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Anybody else? Anything else for Kristen? Going once, going twice. All right. Was that helpful?
Very, yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. So excited. All right. Speaking of Natalie, why don't you introduce yourself, say hi, and how can we help you?
Hey everybody, good to see you again. I messaged Eli a little while ago because it was like 3 minutes till the time this had started and I hadn't got an invite, and then the invite came through and I was like, oh, I thought I got kicked out of the group.
No, it's because you didn't RSVP.
I couldn't even find
the
event. But anyways, I
have something
am grateful to be able to join you guys again tonight. It was so much fun. No fingers pointed. No fingers pointed at all. I'm just glad to be here. So yeah, I'm Natalie Layvlock, and my business is Natalie Layvlock Coaching and Consulting, and I work with coaches, speakers, and health professionals to build out their coaching programs, their certification programs, and their online courses. And so I tend to keep it short and sweet. I'm not a big rambler by any means. My biggest, the biggest thing that I need right now is I need a massage.
Here, everybody, close your eyes and imagine.
Great.
I know an amazing guy, but he's
I'm begging for one.
And unfortunately, he can't touch you right now. But hey, when it's all over,
right? Like
girl,
I got a virtual massage.
I'm what you call a middle vert. So like I have not strong, but I have introverted tendencies, and I love to people in bursts. And there's been so many virtual online events, and I've been peopling for so hard for so long, and it's intense. And I'm like, I just need a break. So anyways, I will say, Eli, when you were talking about asks for what you need tonight, I toyed with needing my own Thor, because I've been making some decisions lately, and in the decision-making process, I'm like, I am taking way too long to make this decision. Eli, 10-second rule. 10-second rule. Let's make it and move on. So.
And just so you know, mine is actually a 5-second rule, but I give everybody else
5-second rule.
But I give it 10 seconds for everybody else, because as soon as I say that, people start freaking out on me. So you guys can have 10 seconds. For me, it's 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Well, I appreciate that, because you just that one little thing in our conversation, just random conversation the other day. It's present. It's forefront of my mind that I need to be faster in making decisions. I tend to overthink things a lot. So thank you for that.
No problem.
And honestly, I mean, really the only thing that I'm looking for right now is just additional opportunities to get in front of people. So
awesome. So more podcasts, more virtual summits, more things like that kind of stuff, which we're always looking for. Okay. So a couple quick things like that. Number one, Cindy put the link to your own Thor. It is an Ask the Alien. His name is Thor. Anybody who's a Stargate fan will understand, because his name is very specific.
Yeah, that's where it came
Andrew's
from.
Laughing.
It did not come from Thor, the cute boy. No.
How did I not see that? We built a 15-foot Stargate.
I was wondering if you actually caught that or not, my dear.
It's Thor.
It's Thor.
The gray.
So if you're not a Stargate fan, go watch the shows. It's well worth it. I just had a great conversation. Rob Empath. I can never remember how to pronounce his last name. But anyway, I was on his podcast and we talked about Stargate stuff. So yes, that is why you need to check out Thor. So that's the first thing. Second thing is to address the question about invites for this event. First off, is I put them on my page, and the page is facebook.com/Eli Speaks. But I just set something up. I've just tested ManyChat. I have not used ManyChat before. So I'm hoping that this will actually work. If you actually go to that page, send me a message, and the message should say meet cool people, then that will actually get you in kind of sort of a list. And that way, that means that I will actually know to make sure that I invite you for the other events and stuff. So Cindy put the link to my page in there. Go there, just send a message. The message should just say meet cool people, all one word, kind of like a text short code kind of thing. And let's see how it works. I have no clue if it's going to work or not. This could be entertaining or it could be just scary bad. Because I have not played with ManyChat before. I am an automation guy, but I just haven't got into using the bots yet. And so I'm starting to play with that. I've had an account. I've paid for an account for, I don't even know how many years now. And this is my first time actually having time to stop and play with it. So give it a try. Let me know what happens. So that should hopefully fix that issue. Because if any of you that are here, if you come up on Wednesday and you haven't got an invite for me, number one, make sure that you go to my page and see where the event is and RSVP, because if you don't RSVP, I don't know to send you the link. Some of you, I'm thinking I'm sending it to you manually for the very simple fact that I know that you're here, but I'm going to miss people, human factor. Okay. So.
Eli, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Before we move, you talked about RSVP. I didn't see an actual RSVP. I just saw like an interested link.
If you click the interested and click it one more time, and this is a Facebook thing, I don't know why they do it this way, but when you click it the next time, there should be an option for going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And that's a Facebook thing. I have no control over that.
Yeah, there's a thing with going, and then it says reserve your spot. And then when you click on the reserve your spot and you put, then it gets you into the thing.
Yeah.
God.
There you go. Everybody else is answering that part.
Cool. By the way, hi, Isfan.
Hi, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Okay.
Adam, that cat looks just like my Mac, except for my Mac is much better.
Okay, so that answers those questions. Now that I completely sidetracked the train of thought, does anybody have any questions, thoughts, ideas, anything for Natalie? She's an awesome, amazing person who, first off, if you need ideas for how to package your course and get your ideas out of here into a thing, she's your gal. Okay. So that's my 2 cents worth. She's amazing. As one of my clients, she is the I will say 100% the most active person. She actually does everything that I say, which amazes me because most people never do that. So I have a huge amount of kudos for her. So with that said, any thoughts, ideas, questions, anything else for Natalie?
Yes, I'm going to follow up this week. I promise I will get to following up this week. I promise.
You're
And
good,
how
Chris.
cool
It's
is
all
it that I get to
good.
do stuff with both of them that I'm very excited about. Woohoo!
Awesome. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, next up. Let's see, who do we have next? We have, is it Eugene or Eugen?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
There we go.
Can now.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, I say Eugene.
Okay.
But
That's what I thought it
technically-
was, but I wanted to make sure because you've only been here once and I couldn't remember for sure. And I wanted to make sure that we got it right.
That's right. That's right. And technically it's Eugene. However, I say it Eugene. And yes, that's my second time here. Thanks for
awesome
organizing this event.
And thank you for coming back.
And yeah, I'm coming back because I think it's really cool and very interesting people from different fields. And I'm pretty new at this myself and not as spoken, but I'm working on it.
That's okay. So tell
Yeah.
everybody a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what is it we can help you with.
Yeah. So what I do, I'm always trying to figure out the best way to say it. What I'm trying to do and what I do with my clients is I help them better their life, right? But that's pretty general, right? So I particularly work with them on financial money matters. Now, for today or for here, I think what I really would need help would be to connect directly, maybe over 5-10 minutes video call, something like this. And just see, because one thing that I do try is to give them access to professional or counselor in different areas that they may not be.
Okay, you're cutting out. You're cutting out pretty bad.
Oh, the sound's no good. I don't know what's wrong with this. I might try to put the headphone.
Yeah, the headphones might help. So you're helping people with financial advice, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Sound.
It doesn't seem like it's any better.
Seems like internet lag.
Oh, wait a minute. Try again.
Let's see how this
Much
is.
better. Much better.
Much better.
Okay. I don't know. It's this computer's microphone is just shut.
It's all good.
So yes, that's what I do. But I'm also trying to find different ways that I can help them outside of what I'm working them with. And it's a little bit of my effort to create a little bit of a community. I do have a meetup group that I'm organizing myself. I used to be in person, but right now it's online. And partly working with people, I realized that there is more. There is a lot other things that they need, not just not always they need to buy a stock or something. So I'm trying to kind of build a network of professional counselors in different areas that I can direct to if they need something else. And so I was going to propose that we connect over whatever you guys prefer, either Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever is more appropriate for each one, I guess, and start there and maybe even meet in person over the internet, of course, and see how we can potentially help each other. And also want to share my meetup. Like I said, it is. I started with it on the investing side. It's I'm in Portland, Oregon. So
see that.
hey, and so it's called Portland Invest and Retire Early, because I had that idea that I want to retire early, and it's not only to retire. I'm just realizing it's not to retire, but just to be able to do what I want to do rather than just work for somebody or just be forced to be somewhere at a certain time, just to have more freedom to
Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to put the link in the chat, then that way we can
got it.
actually find that. You got it already, Cindy? Okay, cool. So Cindy's putting that in there. A couple of different things that I would think of right off the bat is, do you have a specific type of client that you're working with? Because that's one thing that always really helps is if you're catering to a specific type. Like right now, you're in front of a whole bunch of entrepreneurs.
Yes, that's right. And I've been doing this for about 3 years, and I'm coming from a totally different career. And I have to tell you, in 3 years, there is not just one niche. As much as everybody's telling me you got to specialize. I find that I enjoy working with younger folks, kind of make me feel a little bit younger.
Okay.
But I also have older folks that, like they're there, so I don't want to pick an age. I would just kind of hate to see the same age every day in and out, right?
Especially if they're young,
Yeah.
As Morgan said, they're rolling her eyes at me. I saw that. So a couple of things with that. Yeah. Couple of things with that. Number one is I always tell people when I'm working with clients is picking a niche does not mean that you're not going to work with other people. It means that that's who your best client is, and that's who you want to work with the most. So as an example, my target market, my actual niche are speakers. Speakers are my best connections. The systems that we have were catered for speakers because quite simply, they were created for myself as a speaker. Does that mean that they wouldn't work for anybody and everybody else that's in business? No, actually, they work really well in just about every business. Matter of fact, the only type of industry that I shy away from is e-com because I can do it. It does work in that, but it's not my favorite place to play. As Kristen's sitting there like, well, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It does work. And I have clients who have used our same systems and processes for that, but I cater towards the one specifically, knowing that if somebody else comes to me and I want to work with them and I think they're still okay, they're still good for a fit. That doesn't mean I'm going to say, oh no, I don't work with you, go away. Now, that doesn't mean I won't say that because there are some people I do say that to. I will clarify that, but you having a niche does make it a lot easier. And for the very simple fact of, if you want to, as an example, if you want to work with the younger groups, then you have to learn how to talk their language. You have to understand how they think, because somebody who's 30 is going to think a lot different than somebody who's 50. The way they are in life is very different. Their mindset, their priorities are very, very different at those stages. Somebody that's at their, between 40 and 50, we have to think faster because we don't have as many years to accumulate that wealth. Where somebody who is in their 20s to 30s, they do have more time. So they have a little bit more lax to be a little bit more aggressive and have some leeway in case mistakes happen, because it happens. If the industry, the world changes, the economics change, then they can take a little bit more risk because they have longer to recover from that. So the language that you use is going to be very different. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. And I have a comment on that. So in fact, I have a partner, and you mentioned, funny thing, you mentioned 30 and 50. That's exactly our ages. Guess which one I am, right? So, so he's, he can speak to the younger crowd, for sure.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy working with him. And my plan would obviously be for us to work together. It gives me also a plan when I get out of the business, and he can continue. So
Very cool.
I am, so that actually works for me because I don't have to specialize in that sense. But I still probably need to find a niche within,
Okay.
in this. But I'm not yet there. I'm not.
Okay, so a couple of different things. I got Chris is raising hand. I'm going to have you hang on just a second, Chris. Mariah, I see your comments in here.
Definitely check out the comments.
Check out the comments in here because we got some from her. We have some from Ishvan as well. But a couple of things with that. Number one, she is a younger crowd. She's a great person to talk to. She's also here in the Portland area. So once all the silliness goes away, you guys can get together for coffee because she's awesome to hang out with. I have had coffee with her a couple of times, and we even have an awesome place to go meet for coffee, which is cool. But definitely talk to her. If you want to cater towards a younger crowd, she's going to be the right person to talk to, especially if you do decide you want to go after people who are in the younger crowd, but also are more entrepreneur mindset as well. Okay.
Great.
So
Yeah,
Mariah,
thank
do you have anything you want to add real quick to that?
To keep time rolling, no, but I just couldn't stop typing. I'm sorry. I just
brain explosion.
That's okay.
So all over. So
that's good because that helps me
fingers
actually
dumped.
see what's going on and who has ideas.
And so if you can connect us, then Eugen, do you like Eugen or Eugene? I want to call you what you want to be called.
So I say Eugene, but Eugen.
Because that's the white way to say it.
Everybody calls me Eugen for some reason. So.
Okay. So Eugene, okay. We do have good coffee shops. I mean, we have so many, Christy.
Right.
So many. So we could tour it and we could fill out a little book of our favorite coffee shops together.
There you go. A new product.
How fun? No, Powell sells it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
Powell sells everything.
They do. So
thank you, Eli. Appreciate it.
I'd love to connect with you and
yeah, absolutely.
I have ideas and questions and stuff to help you define that stuff.
That's
you
great.
And your partners, and I got a lot of really good meetup connections downtown for entrepreneurs and all sorts of stuff.
Awesome. And I just connected the two of you on Facebook. Okay. Ishvan, I know you had a couple of comments in here. Do you want to say anything real quick?
No, but I know that's something that lots of times, like I'm there as well, trying to define the niche with one of the coaching programs that I'm doing, because I help small businesses and that can be vague, small businesses that in definition is any company that's under 500 employees. That's a lot. And so I understand that, but I know that by defining it, like with my other company, by defining my ideal referral partner or the mavens that'll refer me a lot of people, by defining that, I was able to target them and use my marketing in a way that brought me a higher ROI rather than just blind, blanket, just marketing to everybody, hoping to get a response. Having that target really, really changes things with your marketing.
Yeah, definitely awesome.
Very
cool. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Eli. Thank you.
No
guys.
problem. And that was Ishvan that just talked. And then Chris has some comments. So Chris, you want to pop in?
Yeah, just two things. One, I was working with, I've been talking my butt off for the last 2 days, which my back does not appreciate, but my spirits and my business sense does. So I do appreciate the calls and I'm happy to contribute where I can.
Awesome.
One of the common things, especially that comes to people of a certain age, when you're applying for a job, when you're running a business, when you're speaking, whatever, there's an assumption that a niche means that is the only thing you do. Mm-hmm. And we reject that because it's a dumbass idea. When you know 3,000 things, to say you're really good at one, it's about the dumbest thing I can think of, because that's not the only thing you do. Where I kind of reposition it is, I say, of the products that you're unleashing right now, what do they target? Of the services that you're launching right now, what do they target as the key branding areas as the key niche for that product or service, knowing that next month you're releasing something else for the next group.
Yeah.
So you cover the things that you're good at when you're comfortable with it, knowing that you're not just pigeonholed into this one thing for the rest of your life that is only a small fraction of who you are and the experience you've got. So by segmenting yourself in that way, you'll get to it. That's you don't have to worry about it. You can start with something and you'll get to the rest of it. You're good. That's the first part. The second part is actually a question about what you do and what services you cover. Is it just personal finance or is it also business finance? Can't hear a word you're saying, Eugene.
Yep. You're muted out.
Yeah, sorry.
There you are.
Yeah, so I have capability to do both. I have the back office, I have partners, and I obviously I don't do it all, but I can bring in partners that know more of this, more of that. So so it's still in the air. I probably would still specialize more on the personal side. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but
the reason I ask is I'm about to establish a couple of new companies. I have clients who are about to establish or just established a couple of new companies. We're going to be doing them on the premise that we're going to rapidly accelerate their business credit. Because having screwed up enough business credits over the various businesses we've had over our lives, we learned that lesson and we're starting from scratch on a couple of others. So anybody and everybody that we know that has any experience whatsoever in the subject of rapidly building business credit, we're grabbing by the throat and throttling them until they give us all the secrets they know. So if you happen to be one of them,
okay,
that's a good connection.
okay, absolutely, yes, I have a lot of capability in that space.
Awesome. I'll shut up now.
Let's connect. Well,
No
thanks.
worries.
Thank you, guys. I took a lot of your time. I appreciated the input.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. I'm glad you got some good value out of it. Okay, cool. Let's move on here. Chris, I think you were actually next as you take a drink of whatever it is you're drinking.
Product shot. Hello, Gatorade. Gotta hydrate somehow. Not that it's necessarily good for you, but what the hell. So, to those who don't know, my name's Chris Kerr. I'm a competitive intelligence specialist by trade, which means I find unique opportunities or risks for individuals, organizations, or governments. And then I implement projects on that to either optimize the opportunity or minimize the risk. So that's put my fingers in more pies than I know what to do with, and I love pie. So that really is challenging.
He makes pie. Chris is a cook.
Well, actually, I have a pie recipe that's in 3 different cookbooks. Not my cookbooks even. It's called Ugly Duckling Pie, and it's a chocolate torte on the bottom with a raspberry cream cheese filling on top of the chocolate torte and a raspberry cheesecake on top of that, all iced in raspberry icing. It looks awful. It looks absolutely ugly. And it is absolutely a diabetic death hit in one shot. Boom. Not only that, in the icing, and in the torte, I added Jolt Cola because it was available at the time to give it a caffeine hit as well.
Told you he was a cook. I'm telling you, I've been connected with Chris for a very long time, and I see the stuff he posts.
I miss Jolt.
Yeah, even the Jolt, not tablets, but mints.
Mm-hmm.
I lived on those as a speaker and a trainer at 4:30 in the morning when I had a 6 a.m. class. I'm popping those things like Swedish fish. Come on, let's go.
So what can we help you with, man?
So
a new back.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And actually, one of the people I talked to yesterday suggested there's a place in Panama that does stem cell therapy for this kind of stuff. It's only 25 grand, and once I can travel, we'll see. Anyway.
I know somebody actually in Tampa that might be able to actually help you out for the same basic idea. So I'm happy to connect you with them.
When the budget allows, I'm delighted.
Okay. And I have no clue. I have no clue what the pricing is, but I will connect you. And I see Quinn back there.
Yeah. All right, off you go. She does this for her classes on Fridays
Yeah.
with her classmates, so it's not
She-
as strange as you might think.
She should be doing it for the ballet class that my studio is offering online. The
That
teacher
would-
is awesome for that class. I
that would
sent
be
Tracy the
interesting.
link, but I'll send it
Oh,
to you
okay.
again.
Sure. And now I'll poke Quinn and try and get her back into dancing. Her last dance school she found it too boring.
Miss Ella
and
is
wouldn't contribute.
super fun. Miss Ella is super fun.
Awesome. Well, I'll give that a shot. Anyhow, you asked what I could use. So, as I may or may not have mentioned, one of the things I have is 4 online radio stations. They're supposed to be talk radio stations, but I kind of lost my voice with 6 months of sickness. I caught every bug known to man except COVID. It's almost like I'm missing that particular part of my collection. Anyhow, as soon as the what do you call it, the lockdown went in, suddenly I got better. Surprise, surprise. When I stopped talking to people in person, I got healthy. Wow. Well, healthy as far as I go. So now I've got my voice back, and I'm going to get the talk part of my shows back on track. But when my voice went out, apparently all my radio hosts thought they should stop talking too. So I didn't want to replay old content for 6 months. So I switched it to music in the meantime. But now that I'm talking, everybody's getting excited about their talking too, so we can relaunch. Yay! So that means that I need guests, and they need guests.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing a lot of that. It's business talk. It's expertise on any subject whatsoever. We've had people who are health experts, who are sports experts, who are math experts. We really don't care. It's, are you an expert? And then we talk about issues that are real life issues in that subject matter. And yeah, you get a chance to do some promo for your book or what have you. That's not all I do, but that's a big chunk. So we're looking for guests for that. And
so anybody who would love to be a guest for his show, just raise your hands.
Yep. Tag me, please. Hunt me down. You know, I'm not as responsive as I'd like, as some of you know, but I do my best and I try and catch up as soon as I can.
Yep.
And if I haven't connected with you, please keep pestering me. I will. I promise I will. The other thing that I need are beta testers. So next week, later this week, sometime soon, as soon as my back allows, that stupid beast that it is, I should have some automated business assessments that will work on one of 3 topics: productivity, sales, or leadership. So those assessments are fully automated. They're between 20 and 60 questions. They're serious questions. They give you serious answers instantly. There's no playing around with this. It's not a personality test where you kind of at the end of it say, oh, you really should be a taxi driver. No, it's not that kind of crap. It's real business content. And at the end of it, it tells you what kind of general things you might do to improve if you wanted to go ahead with working with us, what kind of price ranges there are. There's no sales pitch to it, and there's a free interpretation call that comes after it. Again, no sales pitch whatsoever. If
Okay.
you want to do more, you ask us.
Cool.
That's the only way that works.
So next week, will you have that ready and live for us?
I'm
Okay.
hoping.
Okay. So 2 things with that. One, Mariah asked if you have a form for capturing like potential guests for your
Yes.
shows.
Oh,
Okay.
Coming. I
Okay.
had one. We're migrating 138 websites to
Okay.
a new platform.
Okay.
So I'm
So
behind.
having your form to say, apply to be a guest, that is huge, fast, and easy, because literally like right here, right now, you could give us that link
Yeah.
and you would just in this group, you would have, let's see,
At least
1,
12.
Yeah.
10 to 12.
At least 10 to 12
Awesome.
people would fill out that form
I'm just
immediately.
going 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
And-
there's like
and this is actually, this is on YouTube right now as well. So
Yeah.
anybody who clicks over from Facebook, because I don't push my YouTube so much, but anybody who clicks over from Facebook and sees it would also be happy to fill it out as well. So
Once I get it done, I'll go back to this
Okay.
video
Yes.
and post a link in there as
Yes.
well.
And bring it next week. And then the same thing with your beta test for your other stuff.
Yeah.
Bring that link for us as soon as it's ready, because we will do it. I would love to help you out with that, because I love doing those kind of tests and stuff just so I can check it out and see what kind of results come back from it. But on top of that, I want to be able to help you as well. So yeah, it's a win for everybody. So
it's serious stuff.
Okay, so
you're
yeah,
not going to be able to answer it on the first try unless you're freakishly knowledgeable about your business.
Okay, so yeah, so my suggestion is, let's not even worry about giving you other feedback. Seriously, come back with links, because we will bombard you with as much as you need.
Awesome.
Okay.
And Christy and I have already talked. I'm just waiting to connect again, so we're good.
Oh yeah, and I've connected with a couple of others, and I mean, you guys are all just wickedly cool, and I can't wait to talk to the rest of you. But we got stuff working in the calls that I've already had, which notebook full of calls.
Awesome.
There's stuff percolating in the group from last week alone.
Yeah.
So anybody new, connect with me. That you'll find out what I'm like in no time, I'm sure.
Awesome.
Chris, which profile? The reactive profile?
Yeah.
Cool. Does anybody have anything directly they want to add? Like I said, my comment was, let's not do too much, because as soon as he gives us links, we can all bombard him to the point where he has more research than they could possibly handle. But in the meantime, does anybody else have anything else that they want to add, or questions or anything real quick? Okay, cool. Going once.
Other than Chris, just in case, I think I have a training next Wednesday night, so I may not be back here. So let's mutually agree to pester one another. And I will be happy to, get you in front of everybody that I know of also that's looking to speak, or that would be willing to take your assessments and things like that. So I got your back on that one. Let's just keep poking at one another till we make it happen.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so we have like 20 minutes left, and we still have several people. So let's go ahead and move on. I think Adam was the next one in. Adam, how are you, my friend?
I only got here at 4:34. How the hell am I like the 13th person? I mean,
you're slacking today.
Because people were coming in like 10 minutes early, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think you've done this crazy thing, like build a tribe of eager and loyal companions and such. I mean, you guys and you marketers going building tribes, and I don't know about you frickin' people. No, all right. Okay, so the first thing that I have going on is I've got a lead on a place where I can pick up some hair clippers, because I have a feeling that when our Lord Governor Sisolak here in Nevada announces the reopen Nevada plan tomorrow, it's not going to mention barbershops. It has been 46 days since my last haircut. If I am not in a barber's chair by Saturday, and there have been discussions about my manhood, and there's also a bet in place. And this is the ultimate bet, $1. It all comes off.
Morgan has clippers, but she's in Idaho. So
yeah.
I'm talking clippers that go zzz, zzz across the top.
Another bet. Yeah, we're going to be busting out the old Dollar Shave Club besides.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I will never take that bet, because there's no way in hell you're getting me to shave my head. That's for sure.
I've always been curious what's under there, and I figure my worst case scenario here is I'll have at least two more weeks to let it cover itself up if it turns out to be a disaster. So might as well do it now. Okay, I have other news here too. Eli and a few others, you've heard me say that I would be comfortable moving forward with the Podcast Creators Institute once I had at least 3 chapters of the course through post-production.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what?
You have like 5.
I'm in the middle of 4.
Yes.
Yeah, I needed to have that buffer in place because I recognize the way to release this. And again, because there is so much material, is to do it in a modular fashion. So I can do that now, and I have the buffer that allows me to do it. So our official opening date will be May 8th, and that gives me the time to do at least something resembling some sort of a pre-launch. I believe our coming out party will be a webinar of some sort. I'll keep you guys posted.
Nice. Awesome. Well, get it planned. Get us a link so we can share it on the next call, because I'm super, super excited about this.
All right.
Awesome. So is there anything that we can help you with before then?
If anybody has some brand new, not out of the box yet, free clippers and can beam them to me, that'd be great. Other than that, cigars, heavy drugs, and cat food.
Did you get us your address? I don't know that I.
Shoot, yeah. Let me type that out to you now. I'll type it out to you as soon as you move on to the next person.
Okay. Awesome. Give me your address. Anybody have any questions, thoughts, ideas, any of that kind of stuff for Adam? Going once.
Just I need him to check his private messages so we can schedule a time to chat. That's all.
Okay.
There you go. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Next,
There,
I'm
that
going to
was
bring in
easy.
somebody that hasn't had a chance to talk yet. Shannon has been here nice and quiet in the background. So Shannon, thank you so much for joining us. Now you you've had plenty of time to see how this works from everybody else. And I appreciate you hanging out here. As I hope you've kind of figured out, we have a fun group here.
Absolutely. And that's why I've been on mute.
Hey, Bubby. Hi, Bubby's a good puppy.
I've got an 80-pound Aussie in a condo who thinks that it's college for him. So that's why I stay quiet in the background and don't do a lot of interaction. Thanks to Jocelyn for inviting me to this group. She said, hey, you need to come meet this group. There's a great group of people. And so here I am. So
Awesome. Thank you. So tell us a bit about what you do and how can we help you?
So I am in San Diego. I am a project manager / operations manager for small to medium-sized businesses. And when Tracy was talking earlier, basically what I do is go in and take all the stuff off your plate that you don't want to do and get it done for you. So I implement, handle projects. I'm just like, the right hand that businesses need, but nobody knows about me. So what I need is help me get the word out on who I am and what I do.
Very cool. A couple of quick things that I have for you is make sure that you're doing as much as you can to share tips, tricks, and ideas of how people like me can outsource, because a lot of times we as the business owner don't know what we can actually give out. And
you can't do it like me.
Yeah, you can't do it like me. I don't know, I don't know what I don't know kind of situation. So right now, huge one. And I've said this many times to many people, short 1 to 3 minute videos, basically with one little thing that you can say, if you haven't thought about it before, here's something that people actually end up needing a lot of help with that we can help with kind of situation. And you don't make it about you. You make it about what a business manager or a assistant can do for you. Yeah. And basically do a bunch of those videos, put as many out there as you can, short. Like I said, my biggest thing is 1 minute, plan it 1 minute, knowing you're probably going to end up with 4 or 5. And keep doing as many of those as possible. Okay. So I know Chris is raising his hand now. Chris.
So I'm part of 30 professional project management and operations management groups, organizations. I've been teaching project management for 20 years. I've managed $8 billion projects and down. So I have a lot of connections. And when the economy isn't 30 million people underwater, normally I have access to a lot of project management recruiters. So I can certainly take a look and see if any of them are hiring and forward on that basis. I can do what I can, just kind of connect with me and we'll take it from there.
Awesome, thank you.
And there's Quinn again.
And Shannon is amazing. And I mean, seriously, like you need something, it was done yesterday. Like, I mean, literally, like you go to, hey, nope, already done. I mean, and so I can honestly speak as far as her ability to be able to keep people organized and, making sure that they have what they need or whatever else. I mean, that's why I invited her here though, because like I said, she definitely can help a lot of people with what she does.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Very cool. Mariah had a couple of questions that she's put in here. Number one is you two definitely need to connect together. But the second thing she was asking, how are you different than an OBM, office or online business manager? Is there, what kind of difference? What kind of niches do you work in? Stuff like that.
So the difference in an online business manager is I'm a cross between a virtual assistant and an online business manager, where I'll go in and help them identify what they want. And most of the time, the people that I'm helping are the people who are like, I've been trying to write that book for 7 years and I haven't got it done yet. So I take their items and I go, give me your ideas, give me what you do. And then I'm like, here's how we're executing it. And then I say, you're not executing it, I am. So I take it off of their plate. So I think that's kind of where I'm a little bit different than some of the other people.
Okay, cool. Mariah, did you have any other questions with that one? Nope. Okay, cool. So definitely connect with Chris, connect with Mariah. You guys could definitely connect and do some good stuff. Anybody else have any thoughts, ideas, questions for Shannon? Going once, going twice.
Shannon, how do we get a hold of you?
Yes.
I'll put my info in the chat.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Ishvan, did I give you a chance to go?
I asked you to skip me earlier because I was driving around.
Yeah.
So
okay.
You got your wish. He's just gonna skip you.
I skipped you, and then I was like, wait a minute, did I actually have Ishvan talk or not? Because Ishvan was actually early on, but go ahead and share real quick.
Yeah, you almost skipped me till next week.
Sorry, but
so yeah, thanks. It's fun being here, meeting everybody too. So myself, an entrepreneur, I have just always been starting businesses, and every time I did it, learned to get it better and better. And this last business that I created, I finally got to the point where I was able to grow it, and exponentially over 3 years, it grew over 600% in 3 years. And
nice.
And for small businesses, it hit, imagine 102%, 126%, 50%. This year we were headed for 50 again until COVID. The thing is that sounds great, but a lot of businesses, one, want to grow and hit plateaus. They get stuck. Or two, they want to grow, but they don't realize, and this is what I learned the hard way, is internally, if you don't have the systems set up in your business to handle that extra volume, it really can, a lot of companies can fall apart at that point with that kind of growth if they're not able to sustain the growth. And that's where we were. We were very close to losing it. And I took last year, which, like I said, was close to 50% growth. And we were actually not focusing on, lots of marketing and growth. We were actually focusing on internal growth. And that's why this year we were actually going to be trying to go for 100%. I'm still fixed on it too. I'm not giving it up just because of COVID. But, I learned how to build systems within businesses so that they can sustain the growth. And I want to help other small businesses like startups, and probably, more like ideally like, anywhere from like, it could be startups to about 20 people who are hitting plateaus and they want to grow. So that's one of the biggest things that I'm doing. I've had other businesses that I've sold, and I right now I'm working on the coaching and some other trainings that I'm setting up to launch once COVID ends. And that was supposed to launch in April, but at this point, just fine tuning it, which is even better, and get it even better and launch with all this has passed. So, and I've been enjoying all the free content that everybody's throwing out there.
There's a ton of it. I mean, I was on 2 different events just today that I was sharing on. Yeah. Well, and for everybody here, Ishvan is a client of mine, and I love having him in here. He's an implementer, which I love. He comes in with some pretty amazing questions, and like Mariah popped in here, get your systems in now before the things happen. And that really is the key. Get your systems in place, because, one of the things that I find is the more we can put systems and processes and get the flow in place, it makes life easier, because right now, where some people are struggling a lot more, for me, I'm busting my butt, but I'm busting it on speaking on podcasts, getting on virtual summits, and connecting, doing events like this. But everything else behind the scenes, a lot of that stuff was already running, and we're tweaking, we're modifying, we're making things bigger, better, cooler. But that fact that we put stuff in place to begin with has actually made it easier for us. And I'm looking at this stuff going, I don't even know what I would do if I didn't have the systems we have in place. And something else that, I don't remember what specifically you just said that triggered this, but it reminded me of a conversation with Mark Victor Hansen. And he talked about when they were working on their first and launching the Chicken Soup for the Soul book, they wanted to sell 1 million books. And that was their goal. And they were very, very public about selling 1 million books. And then somebody interviewed them after they started making some, yes, that's right. You're part of a Jack Canfield stuff, aren't you? I see Mariah in there sharing her book from Jack Canfield. But Mark Victor Hansen talks about he did an interview with somebody, and it wasn't too long after they started getting some real momentum. And they had come in at like, 920,000 books versus the 1 million. And whoever was interviewing him, of course, had to take the negative spin on it. It's like, so what does it feel like to fail and not meet your goal of selling 1 million books? And he's like, our goal was to sell 1 million books. We sold 921,000 books. That ain't bad. And if you turn around and look at that, and a great example of that, and I shared that this morning on the podcast the show that I did with Angel and Tina, was that I launched a program 6 weeks ago, right when all this stuff launched. And for all intents and purposes, it was a failure because I wanted 10 people in that program. And then 3 weeks into it, I stopped, and I was letting it hit me a little bit, because I was like, okay, I wanted 10 people and I only got one person into it. And then I ended up getting a second person into it, who happens to be on this call, by the way. And I'm very, very happy that she is here. And I stopped and I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute. Yes, by the front end of getting 10 people in the call, I got 2, which on the face, that looks like a failure. But said and done, I did over $6,000 in sales.
I think we had this conversation in our kitchen.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
He was going, but it was a failure. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let's do the math.
Yeah. And so you look at your perspective on things, and perspective is everything. I don't remember who it was that said it. It's not the problem is not usually the problem. How you deal with the problem is usually the problem. And I don't remember who said that. And I really wish I could remember, because I know I knew that at one point. But how Jack Sparrow. Maybe it was. I'm cool with that. I love Jack. But you bring up a really good point in that there's, we have to put that work in. We have to figure out how to systemize and process, because down the road, it will all come back. And I always like to look at that perspective of, what did you do today that moves the needle in the right direction, even if it's a little bit, and we always have to look at that perspective, because we may look at things that are a failure. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, from a lot of experience, that I look at things that have become what I would quote unquote call a failure. And I stop and I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, that was actually pretty good, and that's good. That's what you want. And we always have to have that perspective at the end of the day. And I kind of derailed a little bit, but I just wanted to share that because I think it was kind of appropriate for what you were talking about. What can we help you with?
Well, just wanted to add one more point about building systems. Like you said, being able to do all the things you're doing right now, like as of the end of 2019, I was actually able in that company to start having a 4-hour work week. And it all comes down to building systems. So for a small business, I think
I'm going to need you to coach me soon.
Yeah, a small business growing, our numbers for last year were like well over 1 million, like 1.3 and up. And small businesses to reach 1 million is a pretty small number. I think it's like by the SBA, it's about 10% or 7%, and
2% according to Chris.
Oh, and be able to reach that point and say I have a 4-hour work week so I can start other ventures is an awesome, amazing thing. And so many small businesses owners are overworked and don't even think it's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's building systems that make it possible. So for me right now, all I need is just encouragement. I'm working on videotaping in my studio. I built my studio. I'm really excited about it, and just start recording. Like
awesome.
That's where I'm at. And just motivation, encouragement. That's what I'm looking for.
That is awesome. Well, I'm very proud of you, brother. I really am. You have been, because I have seen what you have been doing lately, and it's been amazing. I love seeing the studio. I can't wait to see even more of it. I can't wait to see some of the videos once you've got that going. Because you're already doing the right thing, and to be perfectly honest, you couldn't pick a better time to do it, because with all the gunk that's going on right now, quite honestly, sets the stage for you to come out as the leader, as the star. And that's what I really took that to heart after the last downturn, shift, evolution, whatever you want to call it, from 2008, 2009. I like to call it the culling of the herd. And those of us that laid the groundwork completely changed how business was done. And you're doing that right now. And I love seeing it.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
Awesome. Does anybody have anything that they want to add to thoughts, ideas, questions, anything like that?
Well, just to echo you, Eli, based on a stat that just came out today, they're expecting that Phoenix had gotten up to 550,000 businesses in the greater Phoenix area. They're expecting with this lockdown, 150,000 of those businesses will not come back for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure that I agree on that timeline, because with the $5 trillion the U.S. government's put into the U.S. economy, there's going to be a lot more money available over the next 9 months. However, how much of it's coming to Phoenix versus California and New York, who knows? But still, that's a big culling of the herd, to echo you earlier. And if when you're zooming up above that, you're still growing, that's one hell of a highlight reel moment, right? When everybody else is going crash and you're going up, that's a spectacular thing. Pat on the back, brother. You're doing it. You're kicking butt, taking names.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Well, bummer Debbie had to bail out before I had a chance to get to her. I do know we are at the 2-hour mark. If anybody needs to go, I totally understand. Does anybody have to go right away that hasn't got a chance to go yet? I want to get you first. Okay. Christine, do you want to go ahead and pop in?
Yeah, sure.
I think you were next on my list anyway, but I just want to try to do that. And for everybody here, do me a favor and help me set the ground rules at the beginning, because I too tend to get off tangent, and we do need to make sure moving forward, because we have such amazing people and so many people showing up. We'll have to keep track of that at the beginnings, moving on, and let people know, keep it to like a minute. So Christine, go ahead. Who are you? What do you do? How can we help? And because I do know there's probably a couple people here that don't know you yet.
Yep. So I'm Christine McKay. Good to see everybody. I am a global negotiation strategist. I work with small and mid-sized companies and entrepreneurs and help them renegotiate and negotiate new contracts or renegotiate existing contracts. So right now I have a number of clients who are franchisees, working with them to help them negotiate their franchise agreements, doing commercial real estate leases, a bunch of different things. I am not an attorney. I am an MBA, and I hold an MBA from Harvard University, and I take a completely business approach to contracts and to business relationships. I am really excited because I've been struggling with I've been writing a book that's almost done, and was struggling with my book title, and I finally landed on it. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be called Sign Here. And I'm going to have a little sticky that says Sign Here as the page. So I'm pretty excited about that. What I need help with is really, I'm looking to get on stages and to speak. And so there are not people in the market who do what I do. And so it's a huge education process. And so I'm all about exposure right now. So
Awesome. So have you connected with Adam already?
I
you
have
guys
Adam and I have not connected. No.
Okay, you guys need to talk. That's definitely a big one right out of the gate because he'll help you
Okay.
figure out how to get on other stages and stuff.
Awesome.
The other one is also Chris. You know, he's already asking for people to speak
Yep.
with. So there you go.
We will definitely connect. And
Yes. Have you connected with Natalie yet?
no, we have not
Okay.
connected either.
So
we
you
can
two
connect
need to
this week too.
connect.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome.
And then also, if you reach out to me, we'll schedule a time to do a show for the Meet Cool People show.
Okay.
I would
Sounds
love to
great.
have you on board with that, especially since you keep coming back to this show or coming back to this. That would be awesome. I mean, basically that'll give you a good starting point from that aspect. I'm going to suggest there are a lot of different events that are going on right now. Go search podcasts.
Okay.
You know, Adam will give you the real nuts and bolts of it, but go search for podcasts because podcasts are so huge right now. And the funny thing is that, you know, they're like, oh, there's 700,000 podcasts or something like that. Well, reality is there's only 700,000 podcasts. There's not really that many, but there's a lot, you know?
Mhm.
So it's still a fairly new market, even though it's been around for a decade now, but it's still it's just starting to really pick up. And right now it's going to pick up even more.
Yeah.
And again, Adam can add, he can shift on so much of this stuff, but that is going to be a good way to get started with it. Go find podcasts that are business oriented and they'll be able to make a huge difference right there. Adam, do you have anything you want to add to that?
You did it pretty nicely there, my friend.
Okay. So you two need to connect. So that's on
Awesome.
you
I'll
two.
send you a message, Adam.
Awesome. And then if you want to shoot me a message, I'll get you a link and we'll schedule a time for one of the Mondays to do a call. And we'll
Sounds
do it.
great.
Awesome.
Well, thank
Very
you,
good.
everyone. I do have to run, so thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cool. Have a good one. I'm going to do just a super quick little plug. Debbie had to leave. I'm very bummed that she had to leave before we finished. And again, I'm going to ask you guys to help me keep everybody on track moving forward because we're starting to get so many people in here, which is awesome. I'm super happy about it. We just got to keep it shorter. Debbie is Snake River Barkery. If you have dogs and would like to give them some amazing treats, these are the best. Okay. She hand makes them. She goes through all the stuff that says that she has to be official and yada, 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 which is always usually what ties her hands more than anything else. But they are amazing. My boys love them. I'm a huge fan of them. Literally the box shows up and my dogs attack me trying to get to the box. Okay. They can smell them even sealed inside the package.
I started anticipating the shipment. I swear.
Yes.
We start bringing boxes in and they're like, oh, is that ours? Is that ours? And suddenly there's ours. Like,
yeah. And one of the coolest things with it is that they do, she does auto ship. So you can just have them delivered every month or every other month or whatever. So it's one of those things I don't have to think about it. So, you know, they just show up. I don't have to think about it, which is even better. And the dogs appreciate it. So that's my quick little plug. Cindy copied some stuff about her in there. Let's move on now. We have Kat. Speaking of somebody else who has awesome stuff.
And somebody who also needs to implement auto ship. Katerina, I have a new program for you. Auto refillable brownies. I'm telling you, if they just show up on my doorstep every month, it's not my
I will
fault.
be so broke.
And Eli so did not answer my question on his webinar the other night when I asked if he bought more brownies.
You know,
I still have like two
He's
left.
got two downstairs on the counter. Mine are
and
gone.
they're sealed up so the ants can't get them.
Yeah, they're in the snap lock container.
You know, memberships is one of those things that a lot of businesses miss out on. That's
Auto ship brownies. I'm telling you, it's the wave of the future.
Oh,
There
and
you go.
different kinds of brownies that you do as a treat box.
Yeah.
A flight of brownies.
Flight of
if
brownies.
you added
Oh,
a
gosh.
packet of Swedish
Okay,
fish to that, I'd be
Kat,
back
you
there.
haven't even had a chance to talk, but I hope that you're actually taking notes here because a flight of brownies. There you go.
Killer.
Two
That is it
bites of
right
each
there.
flavor in like a little box.
Yeah.
That'll set it, you have a flight of brownies. I'm telling you.
Okay, would you like to introduce yourself, say hi, and talk a little bit about what you do?
I feel like I never have to introduce myself because you say my name, and then like 3-4 people start talking at once. Where should I start? Hi, I think I've met some people on the call. I either met you or I've seen you on the screen and haven't really said hi. But hi, my name is Katarina, and as you might have guessed, I do brownies.
Awesome brownies.
Yeah. I have an online brownie boutique, and we specialize in a variety of flavors. Everything from cheesecake to red velvet to salted caramel. We finally perfected our vegan brownie, which I'm most proud of, honestly, because I'm not vegan. But that's always the second question that I get asking about the brownies. The first is the question that they will do well in Colorado. And so
they do well in Portland.
Yes.
Cool. So first thing, everybody who's actually had Kat's brownies, raise your hand. Okay. So those of you that haven't,
JV venture. I'm telling you.
Your trainer's not on your what was it? I think last week your trainer or something was on the call. And
my health coach was on our call last week, and I had to admit that I had a box of brownies in my house.
Yes.
That was pretty funny. They sounded wonderful, actually.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, but so what can we help you with? Everybody knows what you do now. She's awesome brownies. Just reach out to her, order some. Trust me, you'll thank me later. What can we help you with?
I had a little idea.
Okay.
Instead of just, telling people to buy anything. I think most of people on this call use Facebook.
Mm-hmm. You speak up a little bit. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Mostly everybody uses Facebook on the call primarily.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Cindy or somebody can just throw the page in the chat box or something, or just search Devour, or just search Devour on Facebook and just like it.
It's there. I posted it.
Picture that you see that makes your mouth water and just like it. That's a good start right there. And then next week I'll take yours.
Awesome. Cool. And Morgan, you just ordered some, didn't you? Yes. Awesome.
Yeah,
on Monday, and they're not going to make it through the night.
And see, Adam's cats are after crackers. Morgan's cat is after the brownies.
She did try to eat my brownies. It's true. She didn't get any. Sad for her. You need cat-safe brownies.
Mm-hmm. So Mariah was asking, do you have anything like a special for Mother's Day or anything like that?
I don't.
Okay. So you should definitely start looking at stuff like that. Mariah's talking about also potentially like a small ad campaign, which would be a good possibility. But definitely start banking in on holidays, special occasions, things like that, because that will make a big difference.
I want a brownie bouquet.
Yay.
There you go.
I want them shaped like flowers. I want to eat the
Or at least put
flowers.
in like foil wrappers that are different colors, that can look like a little tulip or something. Yeah.
So cute. Nat, you're such a good, I love that. They're so cute. Anyway, I was thinking, I just need like testimonials. So I'm happy to help people if you, I don't know where you are in your marketing and your campaigns and all that kind of stuff, where you are in your business in that way, but I would love to see how I could learn how to help a product based, because I do a service-based business support, maybe helping a product-based business. So maybe we can hook up. I don't know where you are with all of your back end stuff.
Do you have an Instagram?
It's sad. Yeah. I'm a sad millennial. I don't do it really good. I just figured out how to make Facebook post. I'm like 80 years old. I'm like, Facebook can post on Instagram now? This is awesome.
So
yeah, it's
Katerina,
sad.
I was actually trying to buy your brownies right now.
And to help you with your business.
Yeah, her
on your back
website,
end.
she's struggling with the website. So just connect with her directly.
Okay.
And
So-
she'll help you out.
so
She's
to-
working on the
Mariah
online
can
because she
help
was
with
Yeah.
website.
Yeah, she used to sell her brownies at events and stuff locally, and then COVID happened and she went online, but
Yeah.
she's been struggling a little bit with website. Be patient, they're worth it.
Yeah.
They're
So
worth it.
so here's the quick connect right here. Chris, Katarina, you two connect directly. So Katarina, you can get him some amazing brownies.
Yes, I'm
Chris?
fighting internally whether those should be Mother's Day or
Father's Day.
Both.
Or just now.
Now.
You know.
Now, both, all of them, all of the above.
Yeah.
You've heard of now and laters?
Yeah. It's the same.
I
Only
love it.
better.
They won't
It's
last
awesome.
till later is the problem.
No.
So.
Auto ship. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I bet you
Telling
anything.
ya.
I'll tell you what. If you were to order them now, I'll bet you anything you could work out a deal with her where you order them now and then she just ships half of them now and the other half later. And there you go.
Your customers are the brownies.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I tell you, this is a good one. So okay, so you guys connect
We'll
directly
figure
for that
something out.
aspect, so you can order some.
Yeah, go to the
Um,
page that I posted in the
yeah.
thing and then just click message and message her and she'll get you all
Yeah.
fixed up.
And then
I liked it last week, so I'm good. I just have
awesome.
to actually order.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Quinn
then
and Tracy both need brownies.
yeah, and
Man,
then
that's
Kat,
even more.
Kat, I
They're
will
little- they're
highly.
little. Different
Okay,
flavors they can
let's-
share.
We got to get back to it. We're
Share?
already 15 minutes
Share?
over.
Or-
And I'm going to even completely ignore Kristen's comment about eating half.
I was
Um,
sitting with Eli trying to herd the cats. I love it.
Yeah. And I see all the cats, which is even more entertaining. So Kat, I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you connect with Mariah and take her up on her offer.
Yeah.
Because she can help you with some of the things that you're having problems with your website. She is really awesome at that kind of stuff. And I'm sure she would probably be willing to do it for an amazing testimonial and a few very yummy brownies. So you
At
two,
least to start. At least, a
at
little
least
bit
to
get
start.
started.
Yes. So you guys get connected for that. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay. I think next up would be Morgan. You got to unmute.
I had to get rid of the cat first.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything. I'm still editing my book, and
Okay.
I took my cat to the vet today, and he was a very good boy.
That's good. That's good.
Buying my house, and I'm working, and I don't have much of an online business presence because I need dogs on my table.
Yeah, it's hard to groom a dog over
I
virtually.
can groom remotely. Not a skill I
Yeah.
have.
Which is really sad, especially with the cat side, because you are a cat groomer, and there's all these wonderful cat people here that could probably use a groomer, and they're all, of course, not in Boise.
Reach through the Zoom and just swipe a comb through it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Morgan, do you know anything about pet massage?
Yes, I do. I actually had my dog massaged when she was a senior, and I took a massage class, and I actually briefly considered becoming certified in pet massage.
And
Grooming.
that can be done virtually, my friend.
there you go.
Or you could coach people on how to do the grooming themselves, because I have to shave my dog myself because he doesn't play well with others. So if somebody could actually teach me how not to butcher all of his fur and make him look crazy, I might pay for that. Like, honestly, like if you could be my coach to do that, you have skills you could help people do that they need, like you needed it at one point, you can help other people. Anyways, so you're writing a book, so that's exciting.
My
She's
book
written a
is
book,
called-
actually.
My book is called What Groomers Want Pet Parents to Know. It's basically my effort to highlight some of the discrepancies in knowledge between, groomers and what we talk about as an industry, what we wish people did or didn't do. And, a lot of that information gets ranted about in my Facebook groups, but doesn't seem to get told to pet parents. So it's basically a narrative of all the things that I wish that pet parents knew. And I'm sure some of them know some of it, and some of them may not know any of it. So, and then down the road, I may do videos and things like that. I currently have two short-haired cats who I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. They get their nails trimmed, but I don't wash them very often. Once I move into my house, I may have a dog that I can work on with demos and things like that. So that could be an option. Although
Well, they sell those dogs that have the fake fur that's really long too. So you could do it on a not a real dog, but like a I don't know. You're the expert, not me. I'm just saying I could learn on a diagram as much as I could learn on an
Except
example
that your
dog.
dog wiggles.
But
It's different.
Yeah, models are an interesting learning tool because they have a different. The models are designed to have as close of hair as possible, but they do have different hair because it's not alive. And yet, one of my favorite videos that goes around, I don't know if anybody's seen it except for the grooming groups, but it's this little like fake animatronic dog that like turns in circles and wiggles its head all around while somebody's got it on like a table and they're trying to trim it. That's grooming life, unless they're well trained, and some of them
That's
are.
my dog.
And some of them aren't, and then they're always worse for their parents because their parents are quicker to give up than the groomer is.
what is your goal with all the things that you're doing?
I work for a corporate company, and I have worked in private companies, but when I moved to Boise, I decided to try and establish my brand a little bit more outside of the corporation that I work for. Groomers, are ultimately graded, so to speak, on the skills and on the results of their work with the animals. So I'm just kind of working on my own personal branding and marketing. So I developed a logo and also corporate didn't used to let us post pictures of our work. They do now. So with that change, I've been kind of working on just building my personal brand and I have actually gotten a few leads from my Instagram and Facebook pages, people who message me and ask me, where I work and people, I have not seen this result yet, but people that have, said, oh, I'll look you up when I move there, that kind of thing. So, and messages.
We're not too far from each other,
I know you live in the same city as my parents. I'd love to have visited recently.
I went to Job Corps in Nampa, so tells you a little bit.
Eli
about
and I,
my personal.
Eli and I grew up in the Boise area. That's why she's
great.
There, our entire family.
It's great. Do you need help with all of your marketing and branding and stuff? Because I know that now you have the green. It's kind of like massage therapists. They, having a non-compete with the corporate. Are you working on that? Do you need help with that?
Not really. No, they've listed, they've given us very clear rules on how we can post. For example, my hands always have to be on the pets that I post about. They have to be hooked up properly because, their litigation lawyers get mad if we don't. So they've been very clear on what we can and can't post about. And while I don't hide where I work, I also don't I don't run around using their branding and things because I don't want to deal with their lawyers. So
and it's not being mentioned in the book for safety reasons.
Yeah.
Sure. No, it's totally understandable. I just want to know how we can help support you in your goals and what you're going.
Well, when I do publish my book, I'd appreciate that support. Anyone who wants to read
on it.
And if there is a flood of more questions because I asked for suggestions of what pet parents and what groomers, people in my industry wish their customers knew, that kind of thing. And I got feedback, but if this book for some reason, if I miss something, maybe there'll be number 2 somewhere down the line, or there could be, instructional videos. I'm looking at, it may not happen soon, but I'm looking at getting, for example, a standard poodle, which would be an excellent business investment. I also like them, but it would be an excellent business investment for those demonstration videos and clipping and that kind of thing. Every dog is different, but those are possibilities in the future. I'm not a big fan of videos. That seems like a lot of work, but it can also be rewarding. So
I'm still going on the fact that getting a dog is a business investment. I like that idea.
It is a business.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong business if that's not a thing.
Right.
For a groomer, grooming involves if I chose to, I could do grooming competitions.
Yep.
And a dog is a walking advertisement for
Literally.
my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And
Well-
a standard poodle is the perfect subject to
Mm.
practice on.
Yeah. And
do you
and
need help
so-
with your book publishing and stuff, or do you? Are you set?
I'm
We-
very blessed in my parents. So currently
That's us, by the way, in case anybody
yeah.
didn't know that. That's me and Eli.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's our daughter.
I had no idea. I thought you were just being snarky.
No, we are the editing team that she's giving crap to, and we are her parents.
Yeah, I'm just polite enough not to say, "Hey, get with it, people."
I worked on it today.
I worked on a bunch of it this weekend.
They have both worked on it
You
recently.
can send it my way too if you needed
You
to.
did. You did
Okay,
last
so
week.
she's the nerd that you went to visit for the Renaissance Fair. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm here.
No, I'm blessed in who my parents are. So I currently, aside from editing, I'm still working on the cover a little bit because I
can hand that off. We can.
I haven't I can't decide about my cover, but that's me being indecisive. So no, I'm good. I'm just waiting for the editing to be done, which is coming along. So once that's done, I guess what I need is for people to at least buy, if not read, my book, and then give me feedback.
And share and do reviews and stuff would be
Yes,
great.
reviews and stuff like that'll be a big one.
And
And when her editing team gets around to it, so we can actually publish the silly thing, then we'll actually have a link and an actual like bestseller day and all that kind of stuff, because we already have a plan for that. We just that curse of us being so busy that we only have so many hours in the day.
Being on these calls does help me be more inspired to actually do more internet based, like I know that, grooming is a hands-on job. I need a dog in front of me, but, I have helped some of my own customers do their own grooming, particularly when I moved away from them, and that kind of thing. So, groomers have their own internal systems, and we have our own online video, live streams and how to do the big fancy show stuff and that kind of thing. But I think that there's a strong disconnect between groomers and pet parents, because a lot of groomers, like, I'm somewhat odd in that I am all for you grooming your own pet. Like, absolutely do it. It's great. It's a great bonding experience. The reality is that most people, even if they know how, they choose not to, because it can be time consuming and a lot of people are busy. Which is why I have a job. And sometimes pets are just better for the groomer versus their parent, and their parent decides they don't want to put up with it. Like, that's also an option. So
my dog will not let me. I have to take him to the groomer. And
yeah, and that's, my own kitten, while she was growing up, she's almost 2 now. She'll be 2 at the end of May. But as a groomer, I took my kitten into work so that I could have someone else help me, because she was a squirmy little brat, and like, she wouldn't let me do it herself. I can do it myself now, but she, was like 1.5 pounds, and like, I don't know about you, but the smaller they are, the wigglier they get, which is a big misnomer in grooming. People are like, well, my animal's small, shouldn't it be cheaper? I'm like, no, that thing is like the worst moving target you've ever met in your life. It's more.
It's like a baby in daycare. Babies are more because they take more care.
Yeah. But,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you want us to help you with right now, or are we still just kind of hanging out?
I mean, the book isn't published yet. So if there's a burning question that you've always wondered about grooming as a pet parent, tell me. I can make the book longer.
Well, Morgan, and I was looking for that post because I was going to, but you put it on your profile. Go put it on your page.
I thought I did, but
I just skimmed way back and I didn't find it.
Okay. I will do that.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, look.
All right, so we are going on close to the top of the hour. We
Cleo.
do have one more person that's here that I have not actually introduced yet, and I I can already say that he's probably not going to have a whole lot to say because I know him so well.
He won't be sad.
But I do want to actually introduce him and give him an opportunity to say hi. And of course, if he wants any help, we are here for you. Mark, if you would like to unmute yourself, pop in and say hi.
Hello.
What you up to? And is there anything that we can help you with?
No, not really. I'm just like I
Trying to
was
be
last
entertained
week.
today.
Yeah, just got some bad news today, and I'm getting through it though. So
Okay. So
Hopefully
and-
we've been entertaining a little bit.
absolutely, yeah. I came in a little late, but it's been cool.
No,
So
it's
thank
all good. And just so people understand with the bad news kind of situation, Mark has been an eyeglass tech for a very, 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 very long time. And of course,
Makes us sound old,
this
Mark.
stuff
I
going
know.
on.
Well, I guess I'm that way. I don't know.
But because of all this stuff that's been going on, his position has pretty much been eliminated. And so he's been kind of hanging out, trying to reinvent himself and figure out what the next piece of the world will be. And I have to say personally that, for those of you that don't know, Mark is my best friend. He and I have known each other for a very, very, very long time.
I will be nice and not post the new pictures I just scanned.
Yeah, I think we both appreciate that.
Actually, I probably
FYI, they involve a high school graduation.
Oh, I was gonna say I probably looked better back then, so whatever.
But I have been encouraging him to be part of this kind of stuff and to actually just even see what's possible, because we all as entrepreneurs have our own way of dealing with life, and a lot of times people don't realize that there's all kinds of fun, weird stuff out there, and we're all very unique in the way we do it, but we make our own decisions, which is kind of cool. We have options, and that's always a big one for me. And so Mark, I appreciate you coming here and hanging out with us, and I hope that you get some great ideas out of it as well.
Well, I'm soaking it in as much as I can, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what else to say, but
very cool. Very
But-
cool. Cool.
pretty generic thing to say, but
Understandable. It's okay. It's all good. Does anybody just want to say anything real quick before we start wrapping up here?
Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us for so long.
Yeah. That's
I'm
it.
curious.
Thanks for
with
being
Mark.
here.
Real quick.
Maybe he's still trying to figure out. I don't know, Mark. Are you just reeling still in what happened,
It's just today.
or are
Yeah.
you okay? Okay.
yeah, it just happened today. So
So you're not for sure at this point. Like, am I looking for a new job, or am I looking to start a business or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking for whatever I can get into, but if I could get into the same business that I'm used to, that sort of thing, that'd be great. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to be available. So I'm open to whatever.
Okay. Well, I know that Eli's stewarding you the best that he can. But if you need somebody just to listen and let you talk things out loud and whatever, I'm happy to listen and see if we can. I'm not going to promise that I can say this is your thing, but I am happy to listen, and if I can help you make sense of anything, I'd be happy to do that. I'd be honored to do that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And
I don't know if you remember from last week when you piped in, but Natalie's actually in Missouri as well.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Cool.
I actually have a resource for you when you're ready, because I know that right now you just need to get it all together, right? Like deal with the feelings, deal with the emotions, deal with that process. And when you're ready to find that next thing of either incorporating or going, finding just a new position for a company as an employee, or if you want to become an entrepreneur, I've helped create and I'm helping a couple other people who that's part of what they do is help that person learn their next step, learn what it is that they want to do. So just connect with me. I know, just say, hey, who was that, young girl or whatever. And she said something about the yada yada. And then, Eli knows where to find me. Yeah, absolutely. We're here to support you. And that stinks. And I'm sorry that happened. And, hopefully it's one of those things that it's like, well, that was a blessing. It sucked, but it was a blessing. So
I've had a few things
my
that were,
hope.
I've had a
Yeah,
few things that
yeah.
at the time looked really sucky in my life. And ultimately, when you look back on them, you're like, oh, not so much.
And I'm a Christian, and I hate that phrase of like God, works in mysterious ways and everything happens for a reason. It's like, yeah, stupid shit happens because people suck sometimes. Like
People
that's
suck.
the reason it happened.
Sometimes people
But
suck.
it can be used for really good things. And so, mourn, take your time, process those things that you need to do to be healthy about that. But this can be used, just be encouraged for good things.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, and we love to help you to make that happen.
Definitely.
Awesome. Anybody else want to add anything?
One last thing for Mariah specifically, but for anyone, if you ever have any specific questions about grooming, you can always reach out. I do that service for my friends all the time, and I don't mind answering questions, especially if they're, related to trying to do it yourself at home. Sometimes you just need that person to look at it and be like, well, this is what you're doing wrong. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Real quick, Mark, I did connect you both with Natalie and Mariah. So if you feel the urge, absolutely no pressure, but if you feel the urge, these are both wonderful women that would love to just have a chat with you and let you vent and, help you any way you can. As I think you've followed me enough now, I do tend to attract some pretty cool people. So take advantage of anybody who reaches out to you because they are gold. Each and every person here is family to me, and I appreciate what happens. I appreciate everybody reaching out and being able to help each other out. That's what these are all about.
And yes, Cindy, you're the coolest.
Awesome. Well, cool. We are way over. So I appreciate you guys sticking around and doing with this. And again, I will ask you to help me try to make sure we start off on the right track and keep everybody, when we do our introductions, try to keep it to a minute or so, because then that way we can try to keep on time. I am happy to keep talking. I'm happy to keep going with these, but I know that other people have to leave. And so we want to keep them as close to a timely manner as we can. So everybody that hung out with us, thank you so much. This means the world to me. I love how these have been happening. I love the group of people that have shown up here. I mean, just the energy, the ability for people to just share their thoughts, their ideas, and if they need something to just get it off their chest, they're here. This is a good place for that. If you know somebody who you think would be a good fit to come hang out with us, definitely invite them. I'm always good for that. And at the same time, if there's anything that any one of you need at some point, reach out to me. I mean, you guys, every one of you are connected to me, except maybe Shannon may not be, but I think I did send her a message. So you should be connected now. If you need anything, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. I do these because I enjoy them. They're one of my favorite things to do. And it's a way for us to build connections and really figure out what can we do to help each other out. Because again, like I started this, we are entrepreneurs. We solve problems. This is what we do. And there's nothing better than to have a group like this whose entire purpose is to help each other out and figure out what is it we're stuck with, what is it that we need right now, and who can help me, and have that right here available, and have people who are so willing to share those. So with that, I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Have an amazing, amazing week. And hopefully I'll see you next week as well.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.
Yeah, nice to meet everybody. Mhm.